This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hearforuswa.org.
The best defense is a good offense. So before the sewer backs up into your home and wreaks havoc, stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is there for you when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
This is the story of a DNA experiment gone mostly wrong. BJ and Migs. Mornings.
Consider this.
This happy couple, for instance, have a real problem.
How could you?
Remain calm.
Out of sight.
Be ready for anything.
The pros and cons.
Do not cross the streams. This is BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you.
I got to say, quick shout out to Bitmoji coming in clutch in the mornings. Because, when my wife wakes up, I'll send her a, hey, good morning thing. And then we'll usually share like Bitmoji silliness on, as like part of the text. Aww. So I find the Bitmoji I'm going to pick. It's going to be the Bitmoji of the day. And there's all these happy Valentine's Day Bitmojis. I'm like, today's the day. I look like a superstar because I remembered right off the get-go.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Until she opens up her Bitmoji and realizes, oh yeah, the Bitmoji did this for him.
I did it first. That's all that matters.
Oh, there you go.
Attempts were made. Attempts were made. I already purchased a card.
Oh, good for you.
Flowers we purchased later today.
Oh, good job. Yeah. I sent my card, and I'm not too sure if it's going to get there on time.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Are you like my parents, who I get like Christmas cards in July?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just what.
I don't know what happened. I'm like, Dad, Mom, you can't say that it got lost in. Like, there's not a guy on a horse delivering it via mail. Like, it could get here within a couple of days.
I try to time it because I feel like I wanted to get there by the day to be open by the day, and I play that game. And then, of course, you can lose that game. Whereas my wife was smart; she sent me a card, and of course, it got here plenty of time.
Oh yeah.
But she didn't say anything to me yesterday, so I'm like, oh, it didn't arrive on Saturday, and now, oh boy. If it doesn't get there today, I'm late. I'm going to have to call and go, hey, I'm going to have to go, did you get the card didn't come, did it? And then it's like, I'm that guy.
Are you going to get her some flowers?
I thought about it, but I'm going to see her this weekend, so I figured, it's tough. I get her flowers for a lot of occasions, and so I think I'll just do the card, and then since I'm seeing her this weekend, we'll figure something out nice.
Nice. All right, there. That's fair. So yeah, flowers, nice. And I probably won't make her feel pressure to watch the Kraken game tonight. I feel like that's the ultimate Valentine's Day gift. That's love, right?
Wow, that's a great gift right there because
I'll watch it on my phone.
While you're sitting next to her, you can watch what you want, but I'll just watch this. Don't worry about it.
I'll half pay attention to whatever it is you're saying. And
all right, Rev, what do you got? Did you get a card? You got flowers?
I didn't do the card or the flowers because we're going out to a very nice dinner tonight, a 4-course meal.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's a place down south in Midland called Bar Bistro, and
I've heard of that place.
Yeah, they do the reservation, they do the fancy meals, and so I did that. We've got that, so I'm kicking in a bit of money for that. So I don't really need.
Yeah, for a second, like 4-course, so you could do chicken McNuggets, the Big Mac.
Yep.
You could do.
You got the dessert with the ice cream.
You could do that surf and turf thing. That's like 3 meals right there in one.
Oh yeah, the land, sea, and air.
Yeah, and then the McFlurry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to cover it. That's 4. I think you got 4.
Beautiful 4-course meal. I mean, Barbisha's good and all, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
So you're doing that Valentine's Day dinner the night of?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. Oh no, it'll be fine. It'll be fun. We'll spend a couple hours. That's tough. I mean,
are you early dinnering? Is what I'm saying? Because a 4-course meal, you got to digest and go to bed. That's what I mean. It's like, I'm gonna be sleep. I'm
gonna be on S show tomorrow, but that'll be fine. I mean, we're doing it about 6 o'clock, so it'll be 6. Get done probably about 7:30. Get home, digest.
That's too late for this boy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm winging it here.
We pushed it back till Friday for our Valentine's Day dinner. Like, let's just do it on Friday.
Yeah. Well,
it's probably the best call.
Plus, I was like, how weird is it that it'll be easier to find a reservation at a nice place on a Friday night than on a Monday night because of Valentine's Day?
Yeah, you're right. You know, if you get that's what the early bird special is all about, brother. You know what? You go and no one goes.
Yep. So we're all locked in a Jack in the Box for Friday night. It's gonna be great.
Let's get the mini tacos.
That's right. Nothing more romantic than Jack.
That's a good call because Jack is going to be crazy on Valentine's Day today.
Typically.
Well, of course, there's a lot of ways to celebrate, but we can't think of a better way to celebrate than to have the late great radio broadcaster Paul Harvey share with us his Valentine's Day message.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news. On Cullendon Lane, Jacksonville, Florida, Chuck Buick finally gave up. Chuck enjoys marijuana, so he decided to accept Paul Harvey's suggestion. He gave up. He went to the phone. He called me. He ordered a bong. Bong, that's a pipe used to smoke marijuana. I want you to hear this carefully because you're thinking about a Valentine's Day present for somebody you love very much. Quote, my marijuana bong arrived Saturday, and after I opened the box, I was in shock. My eyes were locked open wide. My whole house was now a concert hall. I went to the washroom, and even from there, it sounded like a real live lady singing right outside the door. Quote, with heat eating your ears, you're gouging out and tearing loose and pulling apart, gulping air and tasting black. Your windpipe is closing, and you've lost track of which way is out. There's a searing ember down your neck. Search, rescue, ventilate. Somebody's singed a kitten. Quote, I'm listening to all of my old CDs again because I have never really heard them before. Now, for that Valentine's Day gift, it's not too early for you to choose a bong. If you're anything but happy with it, I'll buy it back. To locate your nearest dealer, telephone 1-800-282 bong.
It was completely live. None of that was edited.
Not at all.
Yeah.
This is how Paul Harvey was a great broadcaster. Apparently, he knew exactly about the green leaf and what to do.
And what do you think? Anyone under the age of 35 has no idea who the hell Paul Harvey?
No, not at all.
He said, "Hey, it's an old-time radio guy doing a commercial about marijuana. That's fun." I mean, yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
He was a legend, man.
He really, really was, and he would do commercials, and somebody just put together a lot of his stuff to make it sound like that Paul Harvey was actually selling bongs, which, you know what? I mean, hey, I believe it, so it must be true.
Great for Valentine's.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Well informed on the issues of the day? Not this guy. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys, and thanks to Kia Up You All for giving us the Migs Report today. I think a lot of people are celebrating today, unfortunately, and that's National Football Hangover Day.
Yeah.
So enjoy thinking about all the bad decisions you made with booze and food and all that good stuff. But also today, in Rev, today's your day. It's National Poop Day, so happy Poop Day to you.
Well, I've already done it multiple times, so here we go.
But it's a perfect day after the Super Bowl. I know it doesn't line up that way every year, but this worked out well.
Actually, it does, BJ. Because it's a day to celebrate all the bad food that you ate after the Super Bowl. So you go from one Super Bowl to another type of Super or not so Super Bowl and celebrate National Poop Day. So hopefully all those French fries and those chicken wings and those mozzarella sticks were worth it.
All that cheese.
Yeah, that makes sense because I thought, February 14th is National Poop Day every year. That wouldn't be right for Valentine's Day.
It's always National Call-In Single Day as well.
Oh,
if anyone, imagine being a boss and someone actually used that as I'm calling in single today. Like,
yeah.
Oh, tomorrow you can call in unemployed.
Yeah, there you go. Tomorrow's calling unemployed day. I think those are 2 great holidays back to back.
But yes, most importantly, happy Valentine's Day to all.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got something fun planned or not. One texter says they cook a pizza shaped like a heart every year for their Valentine's Day.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
pretty cool.
I love that, especially if I'm the recipient.
Yes. All right, let's talk about Disney World. You think that's the happiest place in the world? It's Disney World, right? Yeah. Well, not for 2 sisters who are 29 and 31. So they are adults. They're both from New Jersey, which maybe adds to the story.
Sure does.
They're having dinner with some family. They went to an Irish pub for some drinks and they had, a couple too many because they were hanging out in the Disney World area called Disney Springs, which has like restaurants and shops and things along those lines.
Nice.
So they're drunk. They like, you know what, we got to figure out how to get home. And it's around midnight. Their phone died. So security guard's like, you know what, I'll call you an Uber. Uber shows up and it's like, yeah, I'm not taking these 2 home. They're too drunk.
Oh.
Imagine being that drunk. You just already got turned down. 2 sisters.
Wow. Okay.
Then at that point, they turned on each other.
Oh.
The older one called the younger one a bad mom. And then slapped her.
Oh, wow.
Then they started throwing punches at each other. The younger sister at some point puked on the ground.
Yeah,
Where is Mickey when all this is going on?
Hey, kids.
Security tries to separate them. They get free. They charge at each other again.
Oh, boy.
And that's when the one sister slipped in the puke, fell in the bushes. And this is all happening outside the Cirque du Soleil tent as well. So at that point,
oh, boy,
the younger sister takes her dress off. I'm guessing because she was covered in puke.
Yeah, that's probably a good reason.
So now she's just in her underwear and sandals, no bra.
Oh.
And they keep on fighting.
Yeah. All right.
And at that point, the authorities show up. They decide, though, I guess at some point, they decided not to pursue the case, so the charges were dropped. Probably because they're like, you guys are stuck with each other. You're just sisters.
Right. I want to say, the young sister may not be a good mom, but she's good roadside entertainment. Let me just say that.
That would have made my entire Disney trip. I'd be like, yeah, the rides were great. Tatum had a great time. But boy, oh boy, that fight between those 2 sisters, that might have been the highlight of the entire experience.
That was pretty epic.
He said it was right outside the Cirque du Soleil.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Show before the show.
Yeah.
Right, or post-show festivities.
Yeah, right.
I love this story just because of one of the parts of the article, because it talks about there was a flight in Malaysia that had to be stopped, and they had to reroute because, there was a snake on the plane.
Oh, no. Get Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, there's a video on TikTok that shows a snake slithering through the light fixture in the overhead compartment of the plane. Of course, people started freaking out. So they had to land the plane, figure out what was going on. And this is the part I love about the article. Is the snakes on a plane, it's not usual. Like, what are you talking about? There was a whole movie made about it.
I have had it with these snakes on this plane.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was real. That happened.
Yes. You know what also happened?
Yeah.
The Rams beat the Bengals last night in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, a lot of people were disappointed.
Nice segue.
Yeah, that's the best I could do. There were a lot of snakes on the field called the officials. How about that? Is that better?
That works. Okay.
Anyways, the Los Angeles Rams at one point looked like they were up 13-3 in the first half. Then things just turned around quickly for the Cincinnati Bengals. Next thing you know, they're winning the game. It looks like they're going to win the game. And then the last couple of minutes, the Rams end up winning 23-20. The Bengals did have a chance to win it at the end, potentially tie it or maybe win it all. But then the Los Angeles Rams, I think they were inspired by seeing Russell Wilson talking to Roger Goodell, maybe inspired by the Seahawks, who are just the kings of getting sacked when it's like 4th and whatever.
Yes, of course.
When the game's at the very end, when you're just hoping they could do something. That's exactly what happened to the Bengals. Joe Burrow got sacked by Aaron Donald at 4th and 1.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens. You just want to see what else could, obviously if you're a Rams fan, you love that moment, but you want to see what could happen on 4th and 1. Will he be able to connect with a pass? Something, Yeah. Ends with a sack, though, BJ.
It's so bizarre to see a defense actually, stop somebody in an important situation. I don't know what that feels like.
Not familiar with it.
Yeah, don't know what that's all about.
And neither are the Cincinnati Bengals, apparently.
Yeah, well, it's. It was definitely a good game.
Fun
game. I didn't know who was going to win, and I mean, it was funny. I was early. I said, on Friday that I was rooting for the Rams because of Matt Stafford, but I ended up rooting against them as the game was going on. I don't know what happened. I became a Bengals fan like during the game. I don't know. I kept telling myself, dude, you want the Rams to win this game. What are you doing? And I'm like, go, Joe. And I'm like, I don't understand what's happening.
That's so weird because I was on the flip side. Like, I went into it just like, yeah, totally want the Bengals. But then as the game went on, I'm like, man, kind of want to see the Rams. I think it was because of Odell Beckham Jr. I felt for the dude. Like when that knee just did what it did and then he was done, I'm like, that's got to suck because they're looking great. He's playing great. And now he's on the sidelines watching his team kind of implode and thinking, I wish I could be out there. I don't know. I felt for that. And so to see his emotions afterwards was pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's why, it's hard to take anything away from the Rams because, I mean, adversity was huge and they figured it out.
I mean, of course, the highlight was right before the game. The Rock is just out there on the field delivering like the greatest wrestling promo of all time.
I forgot.
And I don't know what the hell he's wearing in this all burgundy outfit that he somehow makes look cool.
Oh, but that's because he's in great shape. He can wear anything.
Muscles fix all bad fashion choices.
It's like, I was like, I don't even know what that shape is that he is.
He's a cartoon character. I mean, come on. At this point,
when I was a kid and I would draw, like I used to draw like wrestlers and I'd make these abnormally large arms and muscles, but that was so unbelievable. The Rock is bigger than those guys.
He really is.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's almost like, is he trying to wear regular clothes? Because he looks really weird.
I think it's impossible for him to wear anything. It's actually weird to see him with any kind of sleeves, even short sleeves.
True.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, what a move on his part. He owns the XFL, and he's still out there being recruited by the NFL to deliver opening speech before the game.
And I wonder how much that had to do with NBC, because I forgot he has a show.
Yes.
On NBC. And I was like, this is so weird. Why is he out here? And then I'm like,
he's
that's
The Rock.
right.
He does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't even scheduled. He just showed up and goes, I'm going to start things off. That cool? Sure.
Is there somebody like with like who's unconscious that should have been doing it, but he was like, all right, well, he was just taken out by The Rock.
MVP, nice local tie, Yakima's finest. It makes you just wonder, how the hell did that guy end up playing college ball at Eastern? No offense to Eastern. But Cooper Kupp, MVP, I mean, should have been MVP of the entire season, but he was the MVP of the Super Bowl. He was fantastic. Wide receiver for the Los Angeles Rams. And you're just thinking, how is he not on a D1 team, a superstar team in college?
I don't know his story. I really don't. But you're right, Steve. I thought about that. Like, did somebody whiff on him, or did he just want to go to Eastern? I mean, it happens. There are just people that that don't ever get scouted in high school, and next thing you know, they're stars of the NFL, and everybody missed.
And he seems like such a cool, humble dude too. After the game, here he is talking about winning the MVP.
I don't feel deserving of this. I mean, God is just so good. I'm just so thankful for the guys I get to be around, for the coaches, for my family. Just, I don't know what to say.
Just say you're awesome, because you are. I don't know if I deserve this. You absolutely deserve it.
He is one of the quietest superstars, because we know who he is because of the fact that we have to play him twice a year, and he's a pain in the ass. But I think now slowly but surely everybody knows that Cooper Kupp is just. I mean, how is he not one of the best receivers in the NFL? And you got to say the best at this point because of the fact that he went to a Super Bowl and really single-handedly won him that game.
Oh, it was incredible. It was incredible watching that guy. He's so damn good. I'm sure there's a lot of really fun random stories. I'm sure throughout the show we'll be talking about like the halftime show, the commercials. But one of the things, a couple of the stories that I thought were kind of fun and random was Van Jefferson, a player for the Rams. I don't know if you know this, but during the game, his wife had to be stretchered out of the game during the third quarter because she went into labor.
Whoa. No.
Of all times.
Whoa.
And then
I did not hear that story.
Yeah, it was like in the third quarter, his wife was leaving the stadium on a stretcher, taken to the hospital because, she went into labor and had their kid. And then as soon as the game ended, talk about, I'm sure he's happy to go celebrate the birth of your child, but you don't get to celebrate the Super Bowl. I'd be like, of all days, you couldn't come a day early or a day later. You had to come on the day of the Super Bowl. But I'm sure that was an incredible moment. And he ended up spending time with his wife. She yelled at him for not leaving the game. I thought that was, no, I'm kidding. What
the hell? Thought you cared about me.
Where were you? I was playing in the Super Bowl. Not a good enough excuse.
No, not at all. You and your football.
And I was hoping that the game would go down to a kick, and I was hoping that the Bengals kicker, Evan McPherson, would tie the game, because he cracked me up. He didn't go into the locker room during halftime so that he could watch the halftime special. And I'm thinking, what does the kicker need to do in the locker room? Like, I'm sure there's no, motivating talk the coach needs to have with the kicker. He's probably like, you guys mind if I just stay out and watch Dr. Dre, Eminem, and the rest of the crew? Like, yeah, you're not needed in the locker room.
Yeah, no worries. Go ahead, have fun.
Oh, man.
I just thought that was so funny.
It's hysterical, but, every time we hear, regular players talk about the kicker, they go, yeah, they're in their own world. I don't know much about that.
Could you imagine, the rest of the team's like, hey, Evan, you coming? No. Yeah. I love that one song by Eminem, the Lose Yourself. That's going to get me motivated. Mom Spaghetti, I got this.
Yeah, that's it.
So I was hoping that he'd have that moment.
Yeah, dude, I thought he was, because he was perfect on the year. Talk about the drama of the guy who was perfect on the year and then the biggest game on the line and what would happen.
And I know he's a rookie. It's talk about 0 F's given. You're in the Super Bowl as a rookie, and you're like, yeah, I'm not going back into the locker room. Or maybe I'll pop in when the halftime special's done, or maybe a little bit before. Yeah!
The kicker. They get away with so much.
The other one was the drama involving Russell Wilson. No. I don't know if you heard about this one.
Well, I haven't. All I know is hanging out with Roger Goodell.
Which a lot of people are goofing like he is the ultimate teacher's pet. Because 2 seasons in a row, he's at the Super Bowl watching it with Roger Goodell. Which I thought was kind of funny. But apparently after the game, he and Sierra were invited to Drake's Super Bowl party. Which they went to. And some were thinking, Drake, maybe in the future when you invite Russell Wilson and his wife to a Super Bowl party, you should let them know that her ex is going to be there as well.
Oh!
Apparently Future was there, I think, to perform. As soon as he showed up, Russ and Sierra, deuces.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's, wow.
Because, they don't all get along, so.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's,
time for y'all to go to bed.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They left and.
Oh, that's really
awkward.
Very awkward. Wow. I mean,
oh, come on, Drake. And some people are giving him out. Like, you got to tell the guy. You should at least warn them.
Yeah, I mean, is Drake that oblivious that he doesn't understand that? Maybe.
Or maybe he just assumed they knew.
Oh boy, that would be something I would do and go, no, really, guys, I did not mean that. I'm just stupid.
I'm gonna see y'all in the morning.
You're gonna see Drake in the morning.
Yeah,
kick him in the chin.
Yeah.
Hey, Kraken play tonight. They're playing the Maple Leafs. Game starts at 6 p.m. for some reason. It's at home. I know it's a rescheduled game, so maybe they're just trying to get people in and out early for Valentine's Day. I have no idea. But hey, they had a big win on Friday. I don't know if you watched that game against Anaheim. 4-3 score at the very end of the game.
And I bet you thought my theory wasn't going to come true.
Yes, I know.
I bet you thought that.
Dude, and talk about an incredible fight between Jamie Alexiak and Nicholas De Lourdes, I think. I can't pronounce his name properly.
It's that guy over there with the stick.
But, oh my gosh, they were just throwing haymakers. Yeah. I felt bad for their knuckles because they had their helmets still on.
Oh, yeah.
Dude had to get his knuckles taped. They were showing it afterwards.
Dude, the highlight, though, it was on the Spit and Chicklets Instagram page. I don't know if you could see it in this picture, but there's, let me fix that. There we go. As they're fighting, somebody caught a picture of the goalie, John Gibson, and it looks like he's adjusting his cup. But everyone's laughing like, John Gibson, a little too excited to see his teammate fight another man. What?
Yeah.
His hands down his pants while the two of them are punching each other.
That's the old Al Bundy there.
That is a great picture. Listen, you know what? Whatever somebody finds to be arousing entertainment, I will, you know what? To each his own.
Spit and Chicklets wrote, Gibson was cranking it to the Kraken tilt.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's a poetic way to put it.
I saw that picture. I'm like, I get what he's doing. He's got to adjust something. And he's like, well, there's a fight going on. They got a minute until I'm going to have to worry about getting my glove back on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boy. It looks amazing, though, doesn't it?
And as far as weather, 50 degrees. We got some rain. Thanks to Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical for giving us the Migs Report. And that's what's up.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast is brought to you by bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, who's ready to answer your questions about bankruptcy. Travis, is it true that if you filed for bankruptcy once, you can't file again?
Even if you filed bankruptcy before, you can almost certainly file bankruptcy again. Different types of bankruptcies have different time limits between filings. In Chapter 7, full bankruptcy, you can only file Chapter 7 once every 8 years. However, you can almost always file a Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 cases can be filed immediately following a Chapter 7. They can be filed immediately following a prior Chapter 13 case. Chapter 13 is a reorganization plan, so there will be some type of monthly payment, but it's based on your budget and your ability to afford that payment. So Chapter 13 is an option in almost all cases, even with a prior bankruptcy filing.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
If 2020 has taught us anything, it's to take nothing for granted. So when you expect hot water and get cold, when you expect the shower to drain and it doesn't, when you turn the furnace on and it won't start, stop freaking and call Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. 1-800-FREAKIN'.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.